Well, good evening. A little late this evening. So Grandma and I got knocked up. So, tonight's quote's from Billy Mitchell. I believe that in the future, whoever holds Alaska will hold the world. I think it is the most important strategic place in the world. General Billy Mitchell. So William Lendrum Mitchell, born in 1879, was a United States Army officer and who is often regarded as the father of the modern day the Air Force. I kind of feel that General Mitchell and I have a little bit of a kindred spirit. Myself, having served in the Air Force, 23 years active duty and 17 as an instructor, all in uniform, and then also living in Alaska now. I understand his love of the land and our country. The other great thing about living here is I get to hear the sound of freedom every day. F-35s, F-16s, tankers, helicopters from Fort Wainwright and Eielson passing overhead. I just love the sound of that jet roar. So Lieutenant Mitchell, from 1900 to 1904, got stationed up here at Fort Greely in the District of Alaska. Now remember, Alaska didn't become a state until 1956. He was under the command of General Adolphus Greely, who was a signal corps. Obviously, Greely was named after him. The reason communication from Alaska to Washington, D.C. back then took anywhere from 2 to 6 months. So they needed to install a telegraph line. Mitchell was assigned this and eagerly grasped hold of it. So, he compared it to being on the level of the Lewis and Clark expedition. So he was delighted to have it. The telegraph line traveled almost 1,500 miles from the west coast in the Arctic Ocean of St. Michael all the way down to Fort Liscum, just outside of Valdez. So some of his other exploits, as early as 1906, he predicted when he was an instructor at the Army's signal school in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, the future conflicts would take place in the air, not on the ground. And he also identified the concept of a battleship's vulnerability to being attacked by aircraft. This proved true during wartime conditions, and he was vindicated long after his death during World War II. Numerous warships were sunk by air power. Mitchell's Alaska experience had a lasting impact, and it motivated him. And in 1935, he addressed Congress stating that they should recognize the strategic importance of Alaska. Possibly overstated a bit, but Congress, they ignored him. They also ignored him on his beliefs about aircraft being able to sink battleships. One of the things to note, the strategic importance, Alaska, we by air are closer to London, Paris, and Germany, even obviously Russia, than any East Coast city. Something to think about. Few figures in America history have been surrounded by such more controversy than General William Mitchell. He is a man chiefly remembered for his outspoken advocacy of air power at an age when most military minds were still firmly rooted in the earth, and for a visionary's indifference to the feeling of more conservative superiors, which led to a sensational court-martial trial. Little remembered today, however, are the numerous exploits of Billy Mitchell. So, among them, his achievement in helping to blaze a trail through Alaska, forging the last link in a telegraph line across the wilderness. His quote, I believe that in the future, where whoever holds Alaska will hold the world. I think it is the most important strategic place in the world. Brigadier General William Mitchell. As always, love you. Hugs and prayers.